And if you look at most entrepreneurs, most of them are dyslexic. We wouldn't have become who we are today if we didn't have dyslexia. We have 5 senses. If one sense is weak, the others enhance. We adapt to survive. This is what we're programmed to do by nature. Hold an empty cup. Is it heavy? No. If you hold it for an hour, 5 hours, 10 hours, it becomes the heaviest thing in the world. And it's the same thing as thoughts.
If you can't change the people around you, change the people around you.
So if you take a drop of water and drop it into the orange juice, does it do anything?
No.
But if you take a drop of orange juice into the water, which is taking negative into positive, one drop will turn that crystal clear water into blurry. You'd have to put 10 times more water into the orange juice to get rid of the negativity. So you got to be careful. If you don't control the negativity, the amount of energy you have to put in will be so much more.
Right. Welcome back to the Power of Influence podcast. Today's guest, Tony Evans, started in the traditional world of finance in the UK. In 2006, he left it all behind and moved to Asia, betting his future on blockchain and digital assets. Today is the CEO of Rate Group, a firm with over 200 million under management. He's built a reputation by turning around failed crypto, NFT, and AI projects. He's helping shape the next wave of Web3 innovation, building companies that span Tokyo, Dubai, London, and Miami. His journey is more than just numbers. It's a story of a man who saw the future before the rest of the world caught on, and has dedicated his life to making sure no one is left behind in the new economy. So without further ado, let's chat with Tony Evans.
A pleasure to be here, and I'm glad I was able to come right now, because as you see my Instagram and I see yours, it's just like it's constantly we're moving.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I could do your schedule. I mean, you're like almost living on a plane. I mean, it's crazy. You're all over the world. You mentioned you just came back from Denver.
Yes.
There was a big crypto event out there. There's one coming up here in Vegas in February or May, the end of May. But you're like all over the place. You're involved in so many different things. And so I want to hear all about that. But I also want to know more about you kind of, because you've had enormous success in your life and you're a major influencer. You're incredibly connected. And so let's maybe back up a little bit and kind of tell me how you got into this. Where did you start? And, I mean, even maybe back up. Did you grow up in Japan?
Actually, I'm originally British. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's
The thing is, okay, but the way that you say it is, it's actually technically correct as of this year. I've actually spent more time in Japan than I have in the UK.
Okay.
So I've actually spent 20 years in Japan this year. Okay. So I grew up in the UK. I grew up in Wales, actually in a small village, and I think there's about 2,000 people there. So when I moved to Japan, there was more people in the building than in my whole village. So I went from one extreme to the other.
And do you speak Japanese at all?
Oh, no.
No konnichiwa or konbanwa?
I know enough to order food and drink, but other than that, I don't, because the language has to be articulating and amazing. For me, I'm a finance person. For me, I'm focused more on getting things done. Languages, I've already got 3 languages in my head anymore, and I'll get confused. So
Okay, so you do speak other languages?
yes, so where I come from, I speak Welsh, okay, and I also speak Maltese. So
Really?
yeah, so the thing is, we went there twice a year, and there's a long family history there. So it's interesting, but.
So what did you grew up in Wales?
Yeah.
And so you spent the first half of your life in Wales.
Yes.
And what did you do as a kid? What type of a kid were you? And what did your parents do?
Yeah, let's not go down that road. Yeah.
Don't go down that road.
My approach has always been I love business. I've always had this passion for business, but I also love rugby, physical sports. So so that was my kind of. I wasn't that interested in education as sitting down. I could absorb information very fast and figure it out, but like reading, like putting all this stuff down on paper, I found out I was dyslexic, but I was like,
You're dyslexic?
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic.
It's a big motion. If you look at most entrepreneurs, okay, that most of them are dyslexic. And one of where I found this out, okay, is about 15 years old, and I was reading Sir Richard Branson's autobiography. And literally, that was one of the things that I was like, and I went through it, then went to the doctors and said, okay, he said, yeah, you are dyslexic.
Yeah. How old were you when you discovered that?
14, 15.
14, 15. Because, when I went to school, all the teachers thought I was just, didn't want to learn, or, I remember even in kindergarten where everybody was getting blue stars for gold stars or whatever for being able to spell their name. Yeah. And because I'm terrible at spelling too, and I couldn't do that. And it was just so, that's where, you first start to, wonder what's wrong, right?
Yeah.
And, for me anyway, I don't know what your experience was, but, teacher trying to call on you to read out loud and all of that type of stuff. So I was just, I went through school just trying to be invisible. It was like a very humiliating and so affected my self-esteem, my self-confidence, very shy, very introvert. I was kind of like that kid that just tried to be not noticed and be invisible.
I had the same kind of thing. Is like when people know your weakness, okay, they either embrace it or they will push it, and that's the same. It's like you're talking about teachers, but also your friends and classmates. They always try and stick it to you. I had the same thing. And the part was, but I could do maths or I can recall very fast. So it wasn't as bad, but the thing is, it wasn't comfortable. But I knew then and there, okay, I can't do the education part. It's like, I can't sit there and just regurgitate information.
Yeah.
That's not education, in my opinion. Yeah. It's like, I've met so many people that are educated in finance, okay, but they know finance by books, not in practicality. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, nah. It's like,
so you're real hands-on, kind of learn as you earn, and that's the way I am too. I'm very visual and I listen really well.
Exactly.
Right. And I'm able, because you mentioned just a moment ago when we brought this up, how you can take things in and figure it out really quickly.
Yes.
Right. But if comes to a book, forget about it.
It is. I agree with you. It's just like we have 5 senses. If one sense, like the human nature, if one sense is weak, the others enhance. Okay. We adapt to survive. This is what we're programmed to do by nature. And that's the part I embraced. So I knew what I was good at. So I went after that. And it's the same. It's like, this is the first time we talked about it.
Yeah. I knew we were connected somehow.
As the saying goes, a fisherman always sees another fisherman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we came to your house and when you had the party, and thank you very much for the invitation, it's like we had a couple a discussion, and then we had an amazing lunch, and it was just like it just flew. It's just like fluid. Do you know when you have conversation that just flows? That's when you know, okay, I'm in the right thing.
Yeah, that lunch that we had was just like we're both of the same mindset and personal development and all of the all of those philosophies and different things, the way we see the world, right, and see other people. And so it's I really felt connected from that lunch as well. And so I was excited, to hear you're back in town, that we could connect here and do this podcast. So what did you're interested in sports? Was it rugby, you said?
I was interested in rugby, but I went into after rugby was something I just did for fun, just because I was a big lad, and it was a sport I could do, and I could use that for my advantage. After that, I started going into sales, starting selling stuff, starting my own side business, and then a friend's father was an insurance salesman, and then he took me under his wing and taught me about life insurance.
And that was still in Wales?
Yes, still in Wales.
And so how did that go? Did you kind of take to it pretty quickly, or?
Yes, we did. It's the way that we got clients and stuff is still talked about to this day. So it's just like I always find a way to how could I do it in the most efficient manner, and how can I do it the most unusual. And it was just one of these things.
So is this like a secret you're not going to share, or how did you get these clients?
Oh, no. The thing is, okay, you're talking about life insurance.
Right.
So the thing is, the life insurance is you'd go and look at the obituaries in the newspaper, and then you'd go down that road and say, okay, Johnny died down the street. Okay, we're going down introducing ourselves because most people don't have life insurance. Okay. And based off that.
So you're contacting people who just had someone close to them, or, it's in their proximity that, somebody died, and so it makes them. That's probably great. I mean, that probably really worked well because you're talking to people that just experienced something like that.
It is, and that's the part. Is
Yeah.
like you have to make things simple, or the sales process will take longer. But you have to find people only buy for two reasons: greed or fear. Yeah, so you have to appeal to one or both simultaneously, and that was the way we looked.
And so, do you kind of identify that through your conversation, or how do you identify which one of those are their motivating, buying sign, greed or fear?
It depends on how they look at things and how they speak. Yeah,
So you pay attention.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's like you got 2 years in one mouth for that reason.
Yeah.
And that's the part is like you ask people questions and they'll tell you so much about themselves. You just have to take notes and embrace it and keep a running log in your head.
It's kind of interesting because, us both being dyslexic, and I find one of my strengths that came out of, my experience as dyslexia, especially in high school, and being teased and humiliated and all that kind of stuff. I'm very in tune to people's, if they feel uncomfortable, I tend to be very empathetic.
Yeah.
Right. Because you never know what's going on in someone's life, and
Exactly.
and I can kind of pick out someone in the room that may be uncomfortable.
It is. It's the energy. I think
Yeah.
the part is I go back to the whole world, the whole universe is connected by energy. That's the only thing that connects everything. And when you meet people, it's the energy that people put off. And that is exactly the same. You look at somebody and you can sense. Just because your subconscious mind is just flicking to it, and okay, you can just sense it. I'm the same. It's as you said, your senses are enhanced in certain
Yeah, maybe
ways.
that's a commonality of those of us that have dyslexia.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
I think if any of your viewers have it, it'd be great for them to comment and share it with you. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Absolutely, do that, folks. Comment. Let us know that if you suffer, and if you've used it as an excuse of why you can't do something, or it gave you a strength that made you,
Exactly.
just excel in a certain area, as it has for Tony and I. But my early adulthood, I mean, I did a really amazing job of hiding my dyslexia. I mean, it was, because it comes up all the time. People ask you to read something or whatever, and I would like stare at it for a while and then ask them what they thought. Became very good listeners,
Yeah.
right? And so, did you do that at all? I mean, have like a instinct to hide it, or were you? I mean, when I actually, for me, and this is, I was already married several years. I ended up excelling and having some success and speaking at a conference, and I had these note cards that no one else could read but me, right? And somehow they got mixed up, and I just kind of like revealed it to the world at that moment about my dyslexia and my struggles, and talked about my high school experience and all that. You could have heard a pin drop in this place, right? And what was amazing is everyone has something.
Yeah.
I had people that stuttered, that had ADD or ADHD, or something else that was their dyslexia.
Yeah.
Right. And it literally was a huge burden lifted off of me. But it opened up a way for me to identify with people, because everybody has something.
Exactly. I think if you own what you perceive as your weakness, okay, people can't use it against you.
Yeah.
And something that I learned a long time ago is like, if you hold an empty cup, is it heavy? No. If you hold it for an hour, 5 hours, 10 hours, it becomes the heaviest thing in the world. And it's the same thing as thoughts. Your thoughts are the same. If you hold it, and it will just be held down. So it's easier just to give it.
I love that analogy. Yeah, just get it, let it go, instead of, because people do that. I mean, they carry major burdens that become very, very, like you said, heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy on their mind, and can then ripple into other parts of their life and everything else. And so that's a really, really great analogy.
It is. There's another one. I think there's a great quote, a quote that Margaret Thatcher used. I think it's from the Dalai Lama. Yeah, your thoughts become your reality. What's your thoughts? They become your actions. What's your action? And it's true. It's just like your thoughts are such a important factor, because everything we see around us, by nature, was in somebody's mind before.
Yeah.
Okay, everything. So this is how powerful it is. But it's also what gives us life can also take it away, and our mind is one of those beings. It's like if you don't get rid of negativity, it will go through you like cancer. Okay, and I'm not making any like the seriousness of cancer. I'm just saying this kind of thought, it eats you up, makes you ill, makes you everything. It affects you physically, mentally, just everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, man, we could spend our whole time just talking about this right here, because I am a huge, huge believer in this, right?
Same.
I mean, it spawns all the way back to Napoleon Hill, right? Think and Grow Rich, but again, it's, because you mentioned the subconscious mind, and I actually talk about that too. We have the conscious and the subconscious. The subconscious doesn't know right from wrong, right? Good from bad, positive from negative. It only knows what your conscious mind feeds it, or even your sight feeds it, and it becomes your reality, and then you manifest that.
It is, and it's quite. It was interesting. I think as I was in the car, I saw your Instagram post. You said to surround yourself with millionaires, and it's true. The thing is, okay, is your network is your net worth. Okay, that is the truth. So because who you're around is what you get absorbed. So if you want to become a millionaire, okay, and in a room of 10 people, make sure the other 9 are millionaires. Yeah. You'll become the 10th one afterwards.
It's funny because some of these things that we just talk about right here, they're so simple, but yet they're so difficult, because a lot of people are stuck, surrounded by the wrong people, right? Number one. And so that becomes their reality. Just like you say, you hang around with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th, right? Or 5 negative people, you're going to be the 6th. And same is true the other direction, right? And so it's with the people you hang around with, the thoughts, I mean, those people are consumed with fear and anger and, anxiety and frustration, and they just manifest more of that. And they can never, I remember Jim Rohn, he said something one time, somebody asked him, why do people do this? And he says, the best I can figure out is people like that just do things like that. I mean, but it's all coming back to your programming.
It is, and it's also how you actually spend your time. It's like the part is we have 24 hours in a day. Yeah. Every single God-given, every single person on earth. How we spend that time or invest that time is our choice.
Yeah.
And the part is when I was teaching sales guys or trying to associate negativity and positivity to people, I always use. I'm a visual person just like yourself. I will always have a glass of water and a glass of orange juice. And the water is positivity, the orange juice is negativity. So if you take a drop of water and drop it into the orange juice, does it do anything?
No.
But if you take a drop of orange juice into the water, which is taking negative into positive, one drop will turn that crystal clear water into blurry.
Wow, that's another fantastic analogy.
And the thing is, okay, you'd have to put 10 times more water into the orange juice to get rid of the negativity. So you got to be careful. If you don't control the negativity, the amount of energy you have to put in will be so much more.
Right.
So.
Wow, that's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
One of the, as you mentioned, time, how we spend our time, and I think of Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes.
And he has a great quote. He says, the difference between a rich man and a poor man is how they spend their time.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's, again, a simple principle, but most people are spending their time on things that don't make them money, that lead them down a path to nowhere, right? Instead of really thinking through, like you said, and that whole negativity thing, that water versus the orange juice, that's so true. And it's the secret or the key to people changing the direction of their life is, get rid of that, get that glass of orange juice as far away as possible so it doesn't contaminate your, crystal clear water or mindset.
It is, but the thing is, okay, that means you have to own it, okay? And ownership means you take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
However, most people these days, okay, they will not own towards their failures, okay? Yeah. And we learned as we were young, okay, what we perceived as our negative, which is our dyslexia, we found in in the future, it was our strength, okay? We wouldn't have become who we are today, okay, if we didn't have dyslexia, I believe, because
I agree.
we went down a path, okay, where it involved us to adapt and go forward. It's just, we didn't get programmed to say, okay, you learn this, you do this, you do this. No, we had to go, I have to figure out my own way. Yeah. It's,
So you become very creative.
it is. It's like Google Maps. Okay, Google Maps is you have to go here with all the traffic. You find a way to get there. Okay, but however, normal people take the same routes even if there's traffic because they don't think is there another way because they don't have to do it.
Yeah. So apply it in business and everything else in your life.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
the thing what people tell me is like, or your business life or your personal life. I say, I don't have that. I have a lifestyle. Yeah. And that's the part is like, if you try and separate them, you will fail at both because if you have to embrace both of them and you have to spend time on both sides, but it's your lifestyle because it is part of who you are in each side.
Wow, it's just, fascinating stuff, folks. I mean, this whole negativity, positivity, getting around the right group of people. Another great quote I love is, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you, right? Because it's hard because especially if they're coworkers or their family and they're negative and they're dragging you down, and it doesn't mean you don't still love them or care for them, but you got to move away from them. Right. And not try to limit your time with them. And so I love this quote is if you don't change, you choose.
I agree. And the one that I tell people, okay, is water like normal water? If you ask it, is water good for you or bad for you?
Good for you.
So if I put your head in the water for 10 minutes, is it good for you or bad for you?
That's going to be bad.
But the thing is, you know what I mean? It's like the perception is we get programmed. But the thing is the way that we view things, there's three ways. The way you view it, the way I view it, and the truth. Yeah. So as long as we have this kind of mindset, anything we do, we can move forward in that kind of opportunity. So, and it's the same with business, everything. It's just like you just have to think, how can this be? But you have to own it.
It's interesting because again, I threw myself into personal development, right? When I got introduced to business, I was a blue collar worker, $9 an hour maintenance person, right? And when I went into business through the MLM space, right, the networking space, and got introduced to personal development, but there's a set of tapes, and this is back, so it's audio cassette tapes, right? And it was a guy by the name of Lou Tice. He was a football coach. And he told this story about, people react not according to the truth, as it really is, but according to the truth as they believe it to be.
Exactly.
And that there can be conflicting truths.
Yep.
And again, your truths and your beliefs are formed by, the information. And you can be presented with new information that will change that belief, right? And so, or even change that truth.
It is, but you have to be open to it. So
You have to be open.
the thing is, there's certain type of people in this world I can abide by. Is you're talking to them and they will not listen and they think they're right. They 100% that. They won't come to a table and try, I can see where you come from. They say, no, I'm right, you're wrong. Is that, what's the point? I'm not going to waste my time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, those are that's the best. I remember watching, I think it was a TikTok video or something, and this person is like, I don't argue with stupid people. And then this person that he was just saying that to started arguing with him, and then he just says, you're right, I agree, and he's agreeing with the person. And so it was, and I'm the same way. Number one, I don't argue about things that don't matter.
Exactly.
And, unless you have all the facts, because there are conflicting beliefs and truths, and that, with the Stephen Covey, that old saying, seek first to understand, then to be understood.
Exactly.
Hear their point of view, and then you can take and come back, which maybe it's going to alter your point of view, or you're going to be able to then share your point of view based off of, understanding their point of view. So again, it's communication and it's knowing people, but I do believe our, dyslexic background probably has led to giving us strength in this area.
I agree, because that's the only way we knew how to communicate.
Exactly.
And also absorb information. Yeah, it's like audiobooks, visual shows, anything like that. Okay, I love watching like YouTube videos and stuff like that, just because it gives me that. It's easier for me to digest. And
Yeah. I got to ask you a question because, my daughters joke about this, tease me about this, because they say when I'm watching like a program or, like a movie or something, it's like, I guess I got movements and facial movements and stuff and expressions. It's like I'm almost in it.
of course,
Right. I mean, I'm just like, I'm really connected with it. Like I'm, moving and do you find yourself like you really get into when you're watching something?
I do, but it's usually in the first 15 minutes. I'll know because I'll be absorbed. I'll be absorbed, and if I actually go and touch my phone or something, I know I'll put it off because this is not for me. Yeah, because
it's not holding your attention.
It is. It's not interesting, and it's just like I'm not going to waste an hour watching something if I don't like it. It's just like, or it doesn't bring me anything. It's just.
Yeah. So, we kind of went down a path here, but I really love the path that we went down. But I want to back up.
Sure.
So you're, young man, you're still in the whales. You're in the insurance, in the sales, discovered that you're really good in sales and communicating with people. And so where did you go from there? What led you in? You said finance, right?
So the thing is, I then became a qualified financial advisor. Then I got an opportunity in Japan. There's an opportunity there. And I just went, let's just go. Why not? Life's too short. Let's just go. And I did. And I arrived in Japan when I was 19 years old. And then that was a culture shock like you've got no idea. It's, if you've never been to Japan, Japan is a humongous city. It's got the traditional buildings with the skyscrapers, with the amount of people. The energy is quite intoxicating, to tell you the truth. It's,
So was it Tokyo you went to? Yeah, I've been to Japan a few times, Tokyo and Kyoto and I forget the other.
Osaka.
What's it?
Osaka.
Osaka.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's a beautiful city. One of the things I found really interesting is for a big city like Tokyo, I felt really safe and crazy clean. And it was so quiet.
It is. It's Japan has an amazing way of doing that all across the board, and it's safe. It's clean. It's amazing. It is amazing because they don't take any rubbish. Okay, I can't say the word, but the thing is, they don't take that. They just focus on you do something wrong. Okay, they'll put you in jail for 2 weeks, and they don't have to give you a lawyer.
And they're very honorable people.
It is. It's based around
they're
the summer.
On time and they're honorable and you could literally leave your wallet out and nobody's going to touch it.
It is. It's a big problem sometimes. The problem is, if you travel a lot and you're in Japan for 2-3 weeks, you leave your phone and stuff and you go to the toilet and it's still there when you're back. Okay, but then you come to certain parts of the world. Okay, and
you look away and it's gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing is. That's the part. Japan's a bubble. You have to embrace. You have to understand where you are. So,
that's fantastic. So you're in finance, and that was the opportunity over there, or what?
It was finance, financial management, wealth management for expats. I was there for over 10, 12, nearly 12 years, and then I got into crypto, Bitcoin, and that was one of the best moves I made. I went from traditional finance to new.
So that was like 10 years ago?
It's about 8-9 years ago now.
9 years. So unbelievable timing to get into crypto.
Yes, it was.
And you mentioned, I think you said your partner, has crypto or Bitcoin.com.
So he used to be the CEO of Bitcoin.com. Okay. So his boss, Roger Ver, I used to know Roger when we used to do like meetups in a coffee shop called the Pink Cow in Tokyo. And in there used to have the Charles Hodgkinson, the guy that created ADA, used to have all the crypto people, and just in a coffee shop. And this is when Bitcoin was less than $100. Okay. The thing is, this is where Bitcoin blew up. So the thing is, the community is still small, okay, around the world. The people that have been in it for 5-10 years, okay, it's crazy. And my other business partner, Kingsley, he has been, he's Japanese. We basically started our business there of creating crypto advice, investment advice, and structuring from that basis.
So you, 8, 9, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
you get into the crypto space. Bitcoin's $100. So did you load up on it?
Oh, you had to ask that, so I'll tell you. So we did, but we loaded it up and we had it on Mt. Gox. Okay, so for your viewers that don't know, Mt. Gox was the largest crypto exchange in the world. Mt. Gox had a hack
Okay.
with over 300,000 Bitcoin stolen, and we had quite a large chunk of that.
Wow. So
At the moment, that Bitcoin is in custody of the Japanese government. Okay, because under Japanese law, you only have to pay back the value of the Bitcoin. So that was about $600, not $89,000.
Yeah.
So the part is, you learn. Okay,
Wow.
you learn through this. Yes, we loaded up on different coins and everything like that, but it didn't have the safety it has now. So we learnt, yes, there's lessons. We made money, we lost money, but that's how you have to do it, especially in uncharted markets. So
So what would be your advice from a standpoint of security within the whole crypto space? How do you protect yourself?
firstly is if you have crypto, you put it into a hard wallet. Okay, so basically you don't hold your crypto on devices. You hold it in a special device that people can't access from the outside. Okay.
Yeah, and that device is a physical device.
Yes.
Kind of similar to like a thumb drive or whatever.
Sometimes it's the one I use is Trezor. Okay, Trezor is a great wallet. So you can transfer your coins into there. Any cryptocurrency has what they call a public key and a private key. Okay, and the private key is what you want. If you transfer the private key, which is how you hold your coins, into this wallet, people can't access it from outside unless it has you give them access to it. You have to put the password and everything in. So that is one of the big advice I'd give you.
Okay.
The other advice I'd give to people is don't be scared of it. Okay. So many people are scared of crypto. Okay. It's not real or this and that. And I always ask, especially people that are 40, 50, 60, it's like they keep on telling me it's not real. I said, fine. Answer me this question and we'll be fine. Do you have a bank account? They go, yes. Okay. Do you have money in the bank account? Yes. I said, when was the last time you went to that bank and asked to see your money in that bank? They went, I've never. So the thing is, you trust a digital representation of your money, and we've already gone through a huge financial crisis. So do you think what you just said to me, that Bitcoin is not real or crypto is not real, you've just counteracted yourself? Yeah. So the part is, this is already becoming part of the world. And in the US, the IRS is taxing it, so it's real. So the advice I give people is the amount of money you spend on your coffee every day, $10, $15, invest it into crypto automatically, just dollar cost average. Put it in and forget about it. Yeah.
Right.
Time in the market is much more relevant than timing the markets. There's no such thing as perfect.
Time in the market is more relevant than timing the market.
It is. If there's been movement of crypto for the last 2 years, but if you've been buying every single day, you'd be sitting pretty right now. But the part is, people get greedy and they want to know the perfect time or perfect this, and say there's never a perfect time. Yeah. The thing is, if you want to do it, but use all the strategies and figure out what's your weakness. And most people are afraid. And if you invest one lump sum, the only way you make money is the money goes up. If you invest every day, it doesn't matter if because you're buying more units. Yeah, so you're averaging.
Cost averaging.
Exactly.
And backing up to your bank comment, because if you did go to your bank and say you had $100,000 or $1 million in the bank,
Yeah.
and you ask to see it, it's not there.
Nope. It's not.
And I think, what do they have to hold? Maybe 10% of what you're, or maybe it's not even that much.
No, it's not that much. It depends. But the thing is, that's the part that people don't understand. Okay, that the banking system. I'm not attacking the banking system just before anybody starts. Okay, I'm saying the banking system has a use case. However, the banking system also has its negativity. What man has made, man can break. So we've already saw that through the financial crisis. So it would be silly of us as individuals not to embrace new technology or new opportunities. That is what I'm saying to people: is don't shut your mind thinking that what you have now
Right.
is perfect. It's like saying to somebody in the 1990s, okay, about the internet, or it's like, if you're trying to just live in that moment, you have to embrace it or you become irrelevant, because business-wise, personal-wise, you don't have the opportunities that everybody else has.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, just look at it, okay? We're sitting here today, okay? Not because of anything, it's because of social media, because of technology, yeah? Because you saw I was in Vegas and literally reached out, and it was just because of technology.
Right.
If we didn't have that, okay, this wouldn't happen. So that's what I'm saying is, okay, you can use something for your advantage or disadvantage, the choice is yours. And I'm such a big believer, everything in life is your choice, and how you view it and go after it determines who you are.
Yeah, you know, that whole your choice thing, because people will look at their situation, right? There's a book that I've gotten great quotes and knowledge out of. It's called The Traveler's Gift. And they tell a story about who ended up being this traveler, right? But he, had a great job, went to work, and the company was being taken over or something. And they were giving everybody buyouts. And he chose to stay, right? And the company had real struggles, and he just continued to stay and, fight the battle to try to help save the company. And he's just an employee, right? He doesn't have ownership or anything. And then when it finally collapsed, and they sent him away, took his car away from him, and hey, we're done. You can go home. And he's just so angry because he said, I was here for you. I stayed. And he said, you made that choice to stay, and didn't look at, all that that happened in his life was his choice. You're right. And that's where it comes back to that quote I talked about earlier. No change. If you don't change, you're choosing. If you're not changing, you're choosing. And that's the thing I think a lot of people don't. I think people, will struggle with that from time to time, right? Because things happen, and if you dwell on them, even in my business, I'll have something will happen that's not fair, or something will happen that shouldn't have happened, or something that happened that isn't right, and then they just dwell on it, and they can't move forward.
Exactly. The thing is, okay, it basically eats you alive.
It eats you alive.
And that's the part, is like, I whenever I see something like that, I say, okay, own it, go through it. But the thing is, you got to let it go.
Learn from it, right?
Learn from it, embrace it, okay. But the thing is, okay, like when you go to the toilet, you get rid of all the shit. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with your thoughts. Yeah, you need to get rid of it, okay, or it will eat you up and you will just stink. Yeah.
I had a situation. This was probably about 10 years ago now. A situation happened that really made me angry, and I dwelled on it and was super, super angry, kind of in a dark spot. And I don't know, it really got deeper into the mindset thing and stuff. And it's like one day I woke up and I just released it all. And it was like this huge burden, but I needed to do that to move forward.
Yeah.
Because when you live in that spot, it's not a lot of fun, and all you want is somebody to listen, and tell you, they understand. But Jim Rohn, I love his quotes, but he said, "What happens to us all. It's all what you do about what happens." Two people, identical circumstances, they make different decisions, completely different outcome.
It is, and that's the part. Is like, I agree with what you just said. People just want people to listen.
Yeah.
So if people don't have anything, I've done it before, is write it down on a piece of paper. and then burn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Go through the physical act of doing that and just, yeah, that's great advice as well.
Because the thing is, okay, is people need that physical to get rid of out of the body. That's why when you come to goals, you have to write them down, or anything important, you have to write them down, because you have to materialize it. Yeah, it is. I have to go from a thought to action to all this. It's a
And then cultivate it. It's just like, I talk about this when you talk about goals or even years, they make these resolutions and at the time they want to make this change in their life, or they want to do this. And then, probably 50% of them abandon it by the next morning. And by the first, few weeks, probably 99%. And the thing I always say, the thing they failed to do was write it down, number one, and number two, cultivate it daily to stimulate that emotion, to keep that feeding your subconscious mind about what it is you really want.
vision boards, and the people laugh at me when they come. As like I have it on my TVs and stuff. Like I have vision boards where it goes through all this stuff automatically. Yeah. Because that stuff, I cannot tell you. Because even when you're down or in that shitty moment, seeing something that you're working towards, or somebody that you care about, see the picture come up or something, reminds you, this is why I'm doing it. Yeah?
Right.
Then it reminds you, because we've all been in that dark place where you don't want to go on or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do.
And that's where you mentioned it earlier, and I meant to come back to it because, about, the positive, the negative, but you have to be conscious of it. Right. Because if you're conscious of it and then you can recognize it, and then, like you said, don't let that orange juice come close to the water. Where if you're not conscious of it or you're in denial, they can pour that in there, and you're almost welcoming it.
It is, and it is. There's so many analyses I've done of this, and visualization. It's the same thing with fruit. Okay, if you have a box of strawberries and you have one strawberry that's rotten and you put it into the box, it will rot the other strawberries. And that's the way I view stuff. It's like when I have people around me or anything like that, I'll look, okay, is these people bringing energy to my life, or are they taking energy away from me? And the part is, you look at them and go, okay, this I understand, because those people will always comment, and those people always criticize, but they'll always come and ask for help or a favor, okay? And you understand who they are, because if you have the social media, you can see the visualization of who views stuff but never comments. It's just like it's a great way to know.
Yeah, I feel like we could go for hours here, but let's transition into AI. I mean, because you had perfect timing when it comes to your entry into the crypto space. You've got perfect timing with your entry into AI, because you're ahead of the curve. AI is like, the hottest thing out there right now, and you're in the middle of it. So tell us about how that happened and where you see AI going, and what would you give as advice?
AI is the next internet phase. Okay, it's the evolution of the internet, in my opinion. Actually, what you can do with AI is scary. Okay, I've written 2 books. Okay, and being dyslexic, that's an achievement in itself.
Yes.
But the thing is, I was able to educate the AI of what I want, how I wanted it, and I was able to publish it. Okay, so that is just one way. You can use it for business, you can use it for pleasure. It doesn't matter, it's just how you use it.
And you can use it for bad things.
Of course, it's like anything. There's always the bad things. But the part is, you just have to do it. You won't do it automatically. You have to go out there and embrace it. So I have a quote that I tell is like, the future's in threesomes. Okay, literally, I say to people that, and it's the physical, digital, and AI. When these 3 worlds are merging at the moment. Okay, we went from physical to digital, where we had the internet. The AI is the next one that will bring this together. Okay, and then you have the crypto that will be like an overlay of all this. That we're going into that world where this is all merging together. I'm not a technology person. I got no idea about the technology, but I can see the business aspect of it and the
Right.
opportunity, and that is where we are growing. We just had a conversation, and we literally, I'm not going to say because we haven't done it yet. But the thing is, there's an opportunity. You saw and I saw it saying, could this happen? I was like, yeah, it could. But the thing is, it's like, the opportunity in this is what you do with it, just like the internet. It's like, it's out there. People can do what they want, but they have to do it.
And the same is true. I mean, you look at things that are resistant, right? And that happens a lot. Somebody will resist something that's change or new, and others recognize the potential and then they embrace it, right? Same with crypto. There's a lot of resistance, but there's a lot of acceptance. And then there's the early adapters like yourself, because folks, if you're not in the crypto, you need to get up to speed, right? If you're resistant to AI or afraid of AI, you're going to be left behind. You have to, whether you're a company or even if you're an individual, you need to get up to speed.
It is, and that's the part. Is like, we're moving so fast right now.
Yeah.
Okay. In the US, we have you have a new president, and the whole ecosystem's changing. Okay. Crypto is going to become part of the whole financial system. It's also the likes of BlackRock, JP Morgan are now moving towards it. So the thing you have to ask yourself: do these guys know how to make money, or don't they?
Yeah.
There you go. So the thing with AI is the same hesitations people had with the internet is the same things they have about the AI. They'll take jobs, you'll do this. It's like, what this technology does is doesn't take jobs, it replaces it and create other jobs. And that's the part people need to understand. It's like you're not getting rid of something. You need to understand how you embrace it and move forward. Yeah.
Because like you said, there'll be jobs that will be eliminated, but there'll be probably 2 jobs created for every one that's eliminated.
Exactly.
When the dust settles. But if you resist it, your job may be eliminated, but if you don't get involved or see how you can learn or understand or adopt this into your life, you're going to be left behind.
You will lose. The thing is, there's no win for not doing anything.
Yeah,
and
there's no win, folks, if you don't do it.
It is. I'd rather have lost, okay, and learned something than sit there and going, what if I'd done this, okay?
Yeah.
You like entrepreneurs, okay, we talk to other people, and that word of saying, okay, I wish I'd done it, or I had the opportunity, but I didn't. It's like, hey, tough shit, pal. Yeah, that was your choice. Yeah, it's just like, the thing is, okay, we all have choices. It's your choice. Own it, move it. If you don't embrace it, you'll complain about it. And if you complain about it, I won't listen. Okay, the thing is, I won't listen because if I've had people coming up to me now saying, "Oh, I wish I'd bought Bitcoin." I said, "Told you." Yeah, but exactly. The thing is, but okay, you have excuses. You're a victim. Okay, have you bought it now? No. So.
Yeah, well, you bring up another quick point with this but, because, I talked about, people have excuses, right? And until you take complete and total responsibility for where you are today in your life, you're not going to be able to move forward, right? So, but these people say, I am taking responsibility, but then they follow that up with but.
Yes.
Right. And until you get rid of that big but, you're never going to, you're not really taking full responsibility.
Exactly. And the thing, okay, I do this quite often. I'm known for it now. If you're in my circle or in my business, okay, they've seen me do it on Zoom. They've seen me doing it in person. It's like when I'm with a client or where I'm with somebody and they say, oh, I couldn't do it, but, yeah. And I literally go and I say, okay, you see your phone there? They go, yes. Pick it up. I said, why? Just pick it up. Okay. Now call somebody who cares. I don't care. Yeah. I don't. It's like everybody's a victim. I don't care why you don't do it. Yeah. I just want results. Yeah. Just like, don't tell me you love me, show me you love me. Yeah. That is one of my favorite quotes in the world. It's like,
Yeah, wow. This has been fascinating. We're out of time.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do another one of these because I think we have so much we could talk about. And we just kind of touched on this whole AI thing, folks. But here's the bottom line. If, you listen to what this man said, because AI is going to be a part of your life. The sooner you accept that and begin to learn about it and see how you can participate, the better off you're going to be, right? And same is true with crypto.